This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.
Saudi electricity's net profit falls 22.8%, and a Masdar consortium wins the bid for a $1 billion Saudi solar plant. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Saudi electricity company saw a 22.8% drop in net profit for the first 9 months of 2023 to $2.8 billion. In Q3, its net profit fell 8% to $1.6 billion. Q3 revenue rose 4.6% year-on-year to $6.3 billion. The decline was driven by higher financing costs due to the high interest rates and the additional funding to finance its capital projects. Saudi electricity is almost 75% owned by the Public Investment Fund. Masdar, along with two other companies, has won a bid to develop and operate a $1 billion solar plant in Saudi. The consortium includes France's EDF Renewables and Saudi's Nesma company. The trio will develop, build and operate the 1,100 megawatt facility that will power more than 190,000 homes a year. The Al Hanakia solar plant is also expected to displace more than 1.8 million tons of carbon dioxide annually. The solar facility is expected to connect to the grid in 2025. Savola Group's Q3 net profit dropped 10% to $39.3 million. The Saudi food products company says the decrease was driven by lower profit share from associates, higher net finance costs, operating expenses, and increased zakat and income tax expenses. The company's 9-month 2023 profit rose 4% year-on-year to $179.2 million on higher gross profit in food processing and retail segments. 9-month revenue slipped 6% to $5.4 billion. MENA IPO market saw 6 IPOs raise $523 million in Q3, according to EY. It's a 14% decrease in the number of IPOs and a 66% fall in proceeds compared with Q3 2022. This brings the total number of IPOs in MENA this year to 29, raising $5.8 billion in funds. Despite the lower levels of proceeds from MENA's IPOs year on year, EY says the overall sentiment remains positive from an IPO pipeline standpoint. Saudi dominated the quarter with 5 of the 6 listings. Oil prices are holding steady this morning after falling to 3-month lows in the previous session. Brent crude futures are at $81 a barrel, while West Texas is at $77. Both declined to their lowest since July 24th yesterday. Analysts say the market is less concerned about the potential for Middle Eastern supply disruptions and is instead focused on an easing of tight oil supply conditions as U.S. crude oil stocks rise. Wall Street continued its rally overnight with bullish sentiment pushing major stock indices to new 2023 milestones. The S&P 500 and the Dow posted their 7th consecutive day of gains, while Nasdaq rose for the 8th straight session. It's the S&P and Nasdaq's longest winning streak since November 2021 and the Dow's longest since July. Several notable stocks closed at their highest share prices in more than a year, including Walmart, DraftKings, and Uber, which hit their highest level since 2021. And that rally is reflected in today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily wins and losses of the world's wealthiest people. Our biggest winners are all NASDAQ-listed tech giants, starting off with Jeff Bezos, who's up $2.9 billion, now with net wealth of $165.4 billion. Our second biggest winner is Elon Musk, up $2.1 billion, now with net wealth of $232.5 billion. And our third place winner is Mark Zuckerberg, up $1.1 billion, with net wealth of $113 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And plans to expand oil, gas, and coal production by major fossil fuel countries would push the world far beyond the Paris deal's 1.5 degrees Celsius global warming limit. That's according to the annual UN Environment Program Production Gap Report. It warns that governments' plans would produce 110% more fossil fuels in 2030 than would be consistent with limiting warming to 1.5 degrees. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.